Welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. We are quickly approaching what should be the wettest time of the year for Oklahoma. Usually late April through June marks the wettest months of the year when looking at the state as a whole. This past week, we received some great rainfall, but only in parts of the state. This 7-day map from midweek shows 1-inch plus numbers in most of the southeast. Seminole came in with a whopping 4.08 inches, and McCurtain County had numbers above 3 inches. But as been the case for many months, most of the drought-stricken Northwest missed out on the big rains and recorded numbers of a tenth or less. Zeros again for the driest parts of the Panhandle. Here is our deepest look of soil moisture levels on Wednesday. It is the percent plant available water from the surface down to 32 inches under sod. You can see that the eastern two-thirds are in great shape, but the reds and yellows in the west show areas where the drought is most persistent. It would be nice if weather patterns change in the west before they miss out on the normally wettest months of the year. Rainfall that is desperately needed to replenish soil moisture levels there before the heat of summer returns. Now here's Gary showing the recent rain's impact on the drought map.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, as Wes said, our drought map does look a little bit better. Let's get straight to that map and see where we're at. Well, better is a relative term, of course. We do have at least the eastern half of the state looking a lot better than it has, with mostly abnormally dry conditions and maybe moderate drought. A little bit of severe to extreme drought peppered in there, and even a lot of the far eastern parts of the state completely out of drought. But we still have that monster area of extreme to exceptional drought covering the western half of the state. In general, a few areas of just plain severe drought, which sounds a lot better than it is. But we do still have that bad area across the western half of the state, and unfortunately still getting lots of impacts, especially wildfires across that part. That improvement's really come on some beneficial spring rains. Of course, climatological spring started March 1st. We look at the rainfall since that time frame. We do see that eastern part of the state with a good general 4 to 6 inches of rainfall, a little bit less, a little bit more in some areas. And then across the western half of the state, generally less than 2 inches of rain. Again, a little bit more, a little bit less in places. But that's the overall picture of the rainfall since spring began. The haves versus have-nots for spring so far does show up pretty well on the percent of normal rainfall map for that same time frame. All the greens and darker greens show those areas of surpluses. The reds and darker reds, oranges, yellows, those are areas of deficits. And unfortunately, those deficits are still pretty strong across the western half of the state over into other portions of south central and east central Oklahoma. As Wes told you, the soil moisture doing a little bit better. Could be better, of course, especially across the western portions of the state. And compared to last year, if you look at this map from the USDA, we do see 59% of the state's topsoil moisture percent short to very short. That's 36% more than last year at this time. So at least compared to last year, the drought is much more severe. So we're going to continue to see those drought impacts, especially across the western half of the state, and especially those impacts due to fire danger. So that's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.